Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. And in this one, I'd like to give a small review of the Champions League Osaka, which was a major tournament over in Japan. 7,500 plus players approximate. So, quite a few players were playing in this event. But yeah, I kind of expected this to be a Dragapult domination after special red card was released, because this is actually in the format not necessarily just with Perfect Order, this is with Chaos Rising as well. So we get a bit of a window into like the next format, I guess. And as you can see here, it's actually a fair bit more diverse than I would have initially anticipated. I think a lot of people really expected Dragapult to be crushing post rotation. And this is only one event, and Japan is only best of one as well. So Dragapult might just be a lot better in 2 out of 3 games. But instead of, like the best of one, where of course things can go wrong, but the event was won quite surprisingly by Alakazam. So I think Alakazam is a good shout. I nearly called this a budget deck when I was recording my Alakazam video the other day. So good job I maybe didn't, because I don't see Alakazam staying cheap for very long if it's going to be a great deck. But yeah, it's probably one of those decks that can't really get a good foot in the meta without people like starting to tech for it as well, because of course there are things like Xerasic, Eerie, like hand disruption, hand trimmers as well, things like that. So I don't expect Alakazam to be able to, have a foot in the format all the time, but still a very potent deck. I'd imagine there'll be a couple of Alakazam players pitch up at Worlds and try and do something with it, but yeah, seems pretty cool. Also worth noting, this build 2 enhanced hammer. So, we have ways of dealing with that pesky energy that prevents all effects of attacks. So that would prevent Alakazam from actually doing damage. So, something worth bearing in mind. This deck is also playing, I think this deck was playing the regular Alakazam, or is that a different list? Actually, it was a different list. Never mind. So yeah, it's actually kind of similar to the one that I've been playing pre Chaos Rising, like full Battle Cage, same Pokemon lineup pretty much. Kind of the same supporters. I'm not running Eerie in my build though. And yeah, not running Enhanced Hammer, which is like kind of a big deal. I think Eerie is to try and like find the stamps, like the unfair stamp and the special red card, which is like sort of a stamp card anyway. So yeah, that's kind of like why that's there. But huge congrats to this player. I never would have thought in a million years that Alakazam would win a major event like this. So yeah, pretty cool to see. Also, second place is Grimmsnarl Frostlass, which I think it's fair to say that Grimmsnarl hasn't really had a lot of buzz going into post rotation. Like, it was sort of on people's radar, but it wasn't like, oh wow, everyone is enamored by this deck and loves it. It was sort of like, this is probably going to be a good deck, but not really like the crazy buzz that, say, Lucario had, for example. So I don't know if that's because people are like, don't really like Grimmsnarl because like you have to play as a Monkey Dory with it, or something like that. But still a very, very powerful deck. Running the new special red card, of course. So if you don't know what this card does, yeah, this is going to be very big for post rotation. Basically, what it means is that when your opponent's at 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, you can play this card and they shuffle their hand to a deck and they draw 3 cards. So yeah, quite brutal. It's effectively like running an additional unfair stamp. Like, unfair stamp has more situations where it's better. I mean, like, you're essentially forcing your opponent to shuffle draw 2, which is, yeah, that is lethal. Like 3 cards and plus your top deck of 4 cards is like, that's kind of like a judge, that's sort of workable, but unfair stamp can be brutal. So yeah, I guess that's like the hard disruption with this deck, is like you're just trying to disrupt your opponent. And yeah, just a Team Rocket's petrol engine and for the Spike Mouth gym, so you can always find your Marnie's Pokemon. Also running the Yveltal to retreat lock something, so a very nice alternate win condition. But yeah, a very, very good deck, I would say. And then third place was Rocket's Mewtwo, another deck that I assume people thought was going to be pretty good post rotation. This like whoops Alakazam because of Articuno. Like, Articuno just says, yeah, no, you can do no damage to me. So that's cool. But yeah, at the same time, I didn't really have all that much faith in Mewtwo going into post rotation. It just doesn't feel like it does quite enough damage. But maybe that's actually just enough. Like, it still does enough damage. Like, you have the Mimikyu, right, to one-shot Dragapult when you have Lily Scatheri in play. You have, like, the Spidops to do a ton of damage, like when you want to as a single prize attacker. The Sneasel can do a bit of sniping, so yeah, pretty cool deck. You can also play this deck right now, like this exact list. Like, we have all these cards now, so that's cool to see. It is kind of telling, though, that Chaos Rising really won't be adding much to the meta. Like, pretty much what we have now is the format, basically, with some additional stuff sprinkled in. So yeah, we will look at the rest of top 8, I guess. We've got Crystal here in 4th place. Pretty cool, actually. I like Crystal a lot. Is there anything that spicy in Crystal? I guess Pheasant Dipity is kind of spicy, right? You get to flip a coin, and if heads, prevent all damage. If it has a dark energy attached to it, it's kind of cool. Also got a Xerasic in here, so like you do actually have a bit of more of a chance, I guess, against Alakazam. That's nice. Hero's Cape. What does Piper Berry do? Okay. Okay, so it takes 60 less damage from Psychic Pokemon. Okay, that's kind of cool. So, like, I guess if there's a single prize Psychic attacker that does proper damage, though, because, like, Alakazam's damage counters. That's interesting. I wonder what that's for. Someone could let me know in the comments. That'd be cool. But, yeah, I'm not sure what Piper Berry is here for. I'm assuming it's something to do with Alakazam, but maybe there's another single prize Psychic attacker that is escaping my mind. But, yeah, Crustle is pretty cool. And then we can have a look at 5th place, Okidogi Barbaracle. Now, I thought this was just a solid budget deck / rogue deck, like nothing really too crazy, but 5th place is, that's pretty impressive. Kind of a cheap deck to build if you're doing it on TCG Player. But yeah, all about that Okidogi with good punch. So you can do 170 damage and have 230 HP. Pretty nice trade-off. Also got the Moltres in here to do a ton of damage to things like Ogerpon and stuff, which is nice. Just get some weakness on grass decks. Blood Moon Ursaluna, Mad Bite. So like I guess you could like poke something with a Moltres and then finish him off with Blood Moon. So that's cool. And then Barbaracle's in here to just accelerate some energy. Cornerstone to wall out Pokemon with abilities. This deck is a bit more Chaos Rising themed because we've got 2 copies of a special red card. So you're kind of like a single prize deck spamming red cards at the end of the game. That could be really annoying to deal with, especially because you don't have any 2 prize Pokemon. If you don't bench Cornerstone, you don't have to use it. So yeah, that could be very annoying to some players. Like you just sat there spamming 170 and then maybe 2-shotting with Blood Moon. So it's kind of like, yeah, I could see that being quite potent post rotation in the Chaos Rising format. I need to get into the habit of saying in the Chaos Rising format as opposed to like just post rotation. But yeah, it seems like a pretty cool deck. Also got another Alakazam in 6th place. So yeah, there was no Dragapult in top 4, but there was 2 Alakazam in top 8. I think that's kind of quite funny, really. But yeah, Alakazam to Dunsparce. This one's playing the other Alakazam, actually. So that's cool. So yeah, this can like attack things that would wall out abilities and wall out the effects of attacks, I guess, which is cool. So like you have another way of dealing with it, not just using enhanced hammers. So that's nice to see. Seems to have worked out quite well for this player. I will say that, obviously 6th place, not as strong, but however, Lucky Helmet, my boy, making it into top 8, pretty glorious, I will say. Pretty sure Lucky Helmet's like a 5 cents card. Like it's very cheap right now. So nice to see Lucky Helmet putting in the work. I don't think you need Lucky Helmet on Kazam, in my personal opinion, but this player also did very well in an event with Lucky Helmet. So I think that's really cool to see. We do finally see a Dragapult in 7th place. Dragapult Blaziken. Kind of a cool variant. I kind of like Blaziken. I think it's a bit more interesting than Dusknoir, but I'm just a bit biased at this point. But yeah, Blaziken's quite fun. Get the Fiery Chicken in here with a Smolder Salt. As for the trainers, is there anything really that special? I guess like Special Red Card is the standout. Risky Ruins is fine, yeah. Damage your own Monkey Dory, get a head start on the damage counters, but yeah, Dragapult EX, man, it's a scary card. It's a very, very scary card. I kind of roll my eyes now when I face Droopy online. My opponent just opens with a Droopy, and I'm just like, oh, I see what this kind of game is going to be. But, it's still counterable, of course. It's not oppressive, like, not that oppressive, I guess. Like, it's, only 7th place out of all these interesting decks. So, a very unique top 8, I would say. Like, usually in these big events, you see a couple of decks, like, clustered into top 8. But this really is just like 8 unique decks, which is cool. We've also got a Mega Greninja in 8th place. Mega Greninja. Is this playing... Wait. Oh, this is just Greninja. There is no Mega Greninja. Never mind. Yeah, there is no Mega Greninja. It's literally just... it is literally just Greninja EX. Okay, that's still pretty cool, I guess. Shinobi Blade doing 170, and you may search your deck for a card and put it into your hand. And then Mirage Barge, discard 2 energy from his Pokemon, and you do 120 damage to your opponent's Pokemon. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, and you can pair this up with like Frostlass to do some cool damage. And you've got the Dusknoir, of course, with a Curse Blast. I'm really surprised actually there's no There's no Mega Greninja in this. That's actually kind of surprising to me, but still a very cool deck. Again, this is something that we have actually got all the pieces for. So like if you wanted to test this out now, that you can, then you could. So that's cool to see. Like one Shaman might ruin your day, but aside from that, seems like a very solid list. Then we also have a, what was not up next? Okay, another Rocket Spidops list. I don't think we need to spend too much on this because you know, it's Rocket Spidops. There's nothing really too crazy going on here. No. Prism Tower, actually, that's nice. Discard 2 cards from your hand to draw 1 card. It's a nice, interesting option. Alright, Kangaskhan EX. This is something you don't see every day. If you played a Team Rocket Sport of his hand, you can do 220 damage for 3 colors. What's that good against, though? Like, what is this here for? This is what I like to do with these videos. I'm trying to like work out what something is in here for. Like, some texts are kind of obvious, but this Kangaskhan, not really. Like, wait, what's Mewtwo's weakness? Dark. Is this here for like dark box decks? Just to give you a better attacker against things like well, maybe not Sharpedo, but like Absol and stuff. Maybe, but you've got Spidops for most of the dark type weaknesses. I guess you don't have any like fighting type weakness hitters anyway, but yeah, Kangaskhan is interesting. What else was there? Ogapon. Like, why is Raging Bolt still doing very well? I'm kind of surprised at Raging Bolt, like, still just cling on in there because there's no Sada, so... Right, we've got the Mega Absol box in here. 3 Monkey Dory, 2 Kangaskhan, 2 Mega Absol. What else is in this list? Just Ogapons and Clefairies. Interesting. This reminds me of that Singleton format on TCG Live, where everyone had to play a single copy of every card, and it was literally just like, mostly just Terra boxes with Ogapons. That's kind of what this feels like. It's still a cool deck. Like, it seems like a lot of fun. Again, this is something that exists already in Standard, so you can actually test this out for the next format if you want to. No special red card to be seen. Next up is Raging Bolt. Again, no new cards from Chaos Rising. I've got an Iron Leaves in here, a Pheasant Liberty. Yeah, how we accelerating energy? We've got Kangaskhan for some draw power, which is cool. Full Crispin. I guess the energy switch off the Ogapon. And 2 Trumpets. Wait, is that Passimian? Excuse me? 20 damage to your basic Pokemon in play, which is all of your Pokemon. So, like, you can use this to, like, maybe one-shot a Kangaskhan? No. No, you're not doing anywhere near enough damage. This doesn't even get rid of, like, Fez. Wait, what are we doing here? Oh, wait, no, Area Zero. Okay, of course. Like, you can fill out the bench, right? And then one-shot them. Okay, so maybe that's there for, like, Kangaskhan. That's cool. Oh, yeah, and Chien-Pao is fine. Getting rid of a stadium is always nice. Yeah, quite interesting. What else is there? Was there any, like... There was no Beedrill, sadly. I knew Pyro wasn't very good, but, like, none of the other Megas from Chaos Rising have really done anything. None of the other EXs. There's no Gorgeist or anything. Just more Ogapons. Ogapon Meganium. I think this was... Yeah, this is a pretty cool deck. What's Zorok up to these days? Is there anything spicy in here? 1 special red card, and that's about it. Some very thin lines of Pokemon. Got a 1 Reshiram in here. 1/1 Darmanian. Ace Roller's Mischief, actually. That's kind of interesting. Janine for some energy acceleration. Yeah, like, energy acceleration is so weird in Zorok. Like, yeah, you have this item, but you don't have, like, much else, really, so... Yeah, that's fair, I guess. The 2 Mochi as well. I like the Mochi. Mochi is funny. But yeah, I think that's kind of it, really. I don't think there's much else to talk about with this event. Like, 2 Meganium, 2 Meowth. Yeah, we have all of this already. I don't think there's anything, like, too radical in this deck. Wait, no Meganium EX? Like, no Mega Meganium? That's kind of sad to see, I guess. Just a Brawler. Abroliva. The olive thing. 2 Meowth as well. It's kind of greedy. But yeah, interesting tournament for sure. I thought Dragapult would, like, dominate this event for sure. But, yeah, no, aside from that, it is kind of sad, I guess, to see that Beedrill didn't quite make it into the, into, what was this, top 16? Yeah, top 16. So Beedrill didn't quite make it in there. I'm assuming there'll be a Beedrill in top 32, though. But yeah, no Beedrill doing well, no Gorgeist doing well. Basically, nothing new doing well from Chaos Rising in this event, which is a little bit of a shame. Like, the special red card, of course, getting in there, which is nice, but yeah, none of, like, the new Megas or EX Pokemon, sadly, or the new single prize attackers like Delphox, but Still, it is very much early days. Still, like things can change a lot. It is interesting though that we won't get very long with this format really before oh, what's it called? Oh wait, I don't think there's a proper name for it in English. The set after Chaos Rising, the like the Mega Rayquaza set, I think it is. It's supposed to be coming out, so that will hopefully be revealed soon-ish. Soon-ish, I would say. Although we might have to wait till Aichi's, I think it is. There will be reveals there, but if not, then we're just waiting on reveals for the special 30th anniversary set. But yeah, it should be interesting. I'm excited to see what they reveal. I'm kind of hoping Mega Rayquaza ends up being pretty good because Mega Greninja seems to be kind of underperforming right now. Like it's just kind of fallen off a bit. It was kind of prevalent in the meta in Japan initially, and then seemingly seems to have taken a bit of a nosedive. So fingers crossed it can pick up the pace a little bit. It seems to do better in city leagues for sure, but these one-off events where it's best of one, maybe it's not where it needs to be right now. But yeah, it'd be nice to see some new stuff. But either way, a very cool event, like very diverse format in this tournament. So yeah, let me know what you think about this event down below. And yeah, thank you for watching.